it's so a lot of it is rooted in racism. There are people that care about the children. There are people that have concerns about immigration, so on and so forth. But the majority and deep rooted, a lot of it is deep rooted in racism.
Devin, I'm going to jump down, but I just wanted to say I'm literally with you 100% all the way.
I appreciate you coming up, man. There's
yeah, but I just want to say honestly, you're a legend for doing this. You're spreading awareness as well for people who are so silly that don't understand. But big up to yourself.
It's mad. Do you want to look?
We'll just be honest and be honest and say, you know what, we don't like black people. Just so we know not to go there. You know them ones there, but you see when they keep acting, oh, we're not. I don't know, but I just feel that they're a lot older than us, and they were around at a time when people were racist. So I won't.
Do you want to hear the maddest thing? Yeah, people hate me for this as well. I don't think some of them are racist, bro. I genuinely, I don't see Pearl as racist.
So I'm with you on that one, because I feel like if I met her, we'll get along.
To say it. Like, it is what it is. I'm not about tarnishing everyone with the racist brush. I'm not about that. I believe, but I do believe. But here's the thing where I semi-agree with people. Is where you might not be racist, but the lack of care and the lack of empathy and stuff that kind of makes you racist. So I'm contradicting myself. Yeah, the way I see it, I don't see them as racism. But you see, when there's people that do, and there's other people that say they are racist, I completely get it. And
see, Devin, as a white woman, should I tell you why I think Pearl's a racist?
Yeah.
Because the first time when Pearl first came on the app, I loved her lives. She was, she used to battle people, but she'd always chat to anyone. It wasn't always about the risings. It wasn't this, it wasn't that. She seemed like literally, like a neighbourly type person who you could stop and have a chat with type. That's the vibe she gave. And when the first thing come up where she called, where she said the primate word, I honestly did think, you know what? Like, I felt sorry for her almost, like, as in, people do have these nuances and stuff in their family. But from the off, it's that thing where I see, right, white people get really hostile very quickly when a black person is saying, like, look, you might have slipped up, but can you not say that? And because it's offensive, right?
Yeah.
And already there was some hostility there of like, well, it's a word I say, I'm not going to stop saying it. Then she said, okay, no, I do apologise. Then she took the apology back, which for me was a major red flag, and I unfollowed her at that point, because you can't be saying sorry for offending someone, even if you didn't mean to. I don't get to choose if I offend someone or not. If someone tells me I've offended them, then I've offended them. And then for her to then go on and then like be friendly and sit on platforms with people like Angie all day long, every day long. Like, you're the company you keep. I'm sorry. I don't mix with racist people. I don't sit in racist circles. I don't. And then
I'm with you. But watch this. Watch this button. Yeah. This is the point. You see where you separate yourself from them, the racists. These lot don't. Or a lot of people in there don't. So we don't know who's really with them or not, because they're not separating themselves.
I think it's
they
also
say that they're not racist, but it's like,
Can I just also add, I think it's also important to recognise that there are different degrees of racism.
Yeah.
So for us BAMEs out there, when we can sense the racism, but they can't recognise it because in their mind, they think that we're calling them the far right, furthest level of racism.
Correct.
And that's why they don't recognise it, whereas we can see the different variations of racism.
That is a really good point, Rez, actually. That is a really good point, because I think when you say racist, they instantly think that we're saying EDL, but like racism is racism. It has so many different levels to it, and it's complicated. Actually,
it is complicated.
That's why I said they won't understand. Is it? I mean, you lot won't get it.
Like, it's,
by the way, we possibly are all racist within our own levels of degrees. There may be lots of sort of other minorities that we are racist against, and so I might be racist against the Chinese people, but not necessarily the Turks, for example. And I'm not. I'm just saying there is racism in all cultures and all societies, and there are definitely levels of racism.
You got to understand, with our racism, it's in every country. It's all over the world. Put it like that.
Yeah, but and also I like moving through the world. Like I've been fortunate enough to travel and to like see parts of the world. What I would say is from what people have told me and what I've witnessed myself is that black people throughout the world are people are racist towards them. And you know, you make a good point, Rose, because unfortunately it did take me until 2020 with George Floyd's murder for me to really, really look at my unconscious biases. Like I didn't really realise that. I will go as far as to say this, and please, if you're offended by this white person, like be offended, because if it's hurting your feelings in some way, maybe there's some truth there. I honestly believe that unless we do the work to uncover this stuff, that you are actually moving through the world racist. Now, not racist like we've just mentioned, EDL, BNP, like far right out on the street saying, you know, go home. I'm talking about like, you know, why'd you cross over the road when you see a black boy coming towards you with a hoodie on? You know, why
Holding your
is
bag
it
tight.
holding your bag tight? Like, what's that from? And I'll tell you what it's from. It's from media, TV programs. It's from, you know, it's and that's what I'm saying. It's that stuff that we might not even know that we're responding to people as people, you know, micro aggressions or racism. Like we might not even know we're doing it. And it's not until you really, if you haven't done the work, then I would argue that if you've been brought up in this country and you've got generations of family that are, you know, white, British, Scottish, Welsh, Irish, right? There will be factors at play there that you
Can
that
I
you're
just
not
add
even
that?
aware of.
Can I just add that I found myself doing this yesterday though. So I'm a visibly Muslim woman, and I was parking up next to this white guy who got out of his car, and he kind of just looked at me longer than normal, and I already automatically assumed it was because he was a racist because of everything that's going around here. You know, so he didn't do anything other than look at me 5 seconds longer than a normal person would, and I automatically assumed, oh, it must be because he's racist. You know, but then I will say that I went into a supermarket, and then there was a worker there who, for no reason, went out of his way to make eye contact with me and say hello. You know, almost to kind of undo some of the damage that's been caused. So yeah.
What I don't understand about, you know, that I was on Powers Live. What I don't get is why are they not holding this man accountable? And there's loads of women that came on there crying for him and asking us to forgive him and all of these things, and it was just a slip of the tongue. Okay, I understand as humans we make mistakes, but for you to know what's going on in the world right now and still be calling people apes is never acceptable. Do you get it? Like, it just like people are offended, not only just that boy that you called an ape, but every other black person, and they was failing to understand it.
My man's sitting up in the room, yeah? Here's another thing, yeah? You're sitting up in the room listening to all of this, you know? You're sitting up in the room listening to all of this, right? And not once do you feel that we deserve the dignity for you to come up and say something. No, what you're doing is you're prepping your answers, yeah? You're getting all the help that you can behind the scenes so that you're ready to come with a little something. Just come and face the people there and talk. Like,
have you seen his story? He's tried justifying it by saying, "Oh, I'm young." This man,
I know he's
an old people
boils
saying.
kettle on his own. He's not a baby. He's not in school. This is a grown-ass man. And he's justifying it, saying, "Oh, I'm just young." I think this is why this shit keeps happening on this app, is because him and all of Poe's followers, all of Angie's followers are all racists.
again, yeah, I'm popular with this one. Again, I'm just gonna keep it chill. I don't think the youth's racist. Again, but the fact that you don't care enough not to say that when you know how much smoke is around, the fact that you're oblivious to it means that you don't regard us.
But Dev, I feel like a lot of people, you know what I said earlier that I got in trouble for, but I feel like a lot of people, they start, when they're in an argument with a black person, they start losing.
Yeah.
They know they're the only way out now. So I'm going to say to you is say something racist. And I've seen that bare. And that's what I feel like it is. I really feel like it's a lot of that. I feel like, all right, they feel like they're losing it. They've lost now. Let me win. Oh, you N-word. You monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you hold them accountable, they know how to play victim so well. It's actually crazy.
100%.
Like the cries and all of this. Like Pelt, you didn't even like address Pelt in that way, and she started screaming about her own situation. Nobody mentioned your name. We're talking about this Corey
Exactly.
guy, and you started playing victim for what?
But that's
Exactly,
what white people
princess.
are really good at doing, centering themselves
Playing
in
the
any
victim,
conversation.
trust.
Like
Yeah,
any
you're
Not
conversation.
contradicting yourself, bro. What it is, you're just having the empathy, innit? That's all it is. It's just empathy.
Yeah, and I just want to
Not
come back to
contradicting.
what like Rez said, because what I don't see right is like really nuanced conversations, because you can't talk about racism really without talking about everything else that goes with it. So, for instance, when you were saying that man looked at you for a bit too long and you was like, oh God, is he a racist? Like, that's probably because of your own fear. Like, I don't know, you can speak for yourself, but also that comes with that, as a woman moving through this world, as a person who presents as a woman moving through this world, I am fearful of men. Like, because male on male violence and male on female violence, like, unfortunately, 1 in 3 women will experience violence from a man that they know in their lifetime. So it's like multiple layers of stuff. It's not just because maybe you present as a Muslim. It's also maybe, you know, we're all coming to this with our personal stories as well.
But imagine Button Bell.
Just to respond to that, I haven't done that in decades. Like, I'm 44 years old, so I grew up in the 90s with the skin. Well, in the 80s it was the skinheads, and in the 90s it was NFs and things like that. So I haven't felt like that about white men since the 90s, and yesterday was the first time, and it is only because of everything that's going around. But it really made me kind of check myself and remind myself that it's not as bad as it looks like it is on TikTok. Not everybody is like that. You know, we do need
So
to
is
check
it because of
ourselves
the
every now and again.
rioting that you maybe feel like that? Is it because of the rioting? Like, why do you think?
Well,
where do you think that
absolutely,
come
yeah.
from?
It was because of
Right.
the rioting. It wasn't because of anything else. It was literally
Yeah.
just because of the rioting.
But
And
the
as a
rioting-
Muslim woman, we
yeah.
need to realise, us Muslim women, we are sending each other messages and tips on how to keep ourselves safe. My 14-year-old daughter wants to go to town with her friends, and I'm like, absolutely not. I don't know what's going on. You're not leaving the house anywhere. We've got a park behind us. You're not going to the park, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. You
That's
know,
so sad
it's
and
just
scary,
so
isn't it?
unsafe. I feel so. I'm a strong woman, guys. Like, I don't feel scared, and I'm not scared. But when I'm walking around now in my own streets that I've lived for years, and I've always felt safe, I'm just kind of really cautious and looking behind me just to make sure everything's safe.
And no
You
wonder
know, it's
people
just
talk
really,
about.
it's really sickening, actually. And I don't want to feel like this, but I don't know how to not feel like this right now.
I'm
here's
so
the thing,
sorry
Button Bell.
that you have to live like that in your own country. It ain't right.
One second. Button Bell, you're saying that you're scared of men, yeah? I don't care. Why? We're just men. We're just living. Like, do
Okay.
you see the lack of understanding and the lack of, like, I don't care. You know.
Yeah,
it's
no,
little
of
men.
course. Like, I know when you said that, then for a second, I was thinking, like, are you joking? And like,
It is,
honestly,
yeah.
No, honestly, my heart. You know that thing that you get that thing in your chest and your stomach drops. I was like, oh no, Devon's me being me. No, it does. It affects you. And I totally get it. It's like. And these people, these FYP shows will give the illusion of like, come on, open up, talk about your stuff. And then they'll be like, no, sorry, like, I disagree with that. It's not being held. Like, please, everyone know that TikTok is not a safe place. It is.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's not therapy. It's not like, I'm fully aware, like when I'm live, that my thing is flashing, that people could find me. You'll never see me with my face on because of, you know, just for various reasons where I would protect where I am.
Can I just respond to one of the commenters? Somebody said no one's attacking Muslims, and I can't remember the name. They are attacking Muslim women because we are visibly Muslim, and probably because we're a bit more vulnerable. I know of a 15-year-old girl who was attacked by grown white men. They were throwing bottles at her from the car, and when it missed her, they got out of the car and they kicked her repeatedly. She was a 14-year-old girl from the car, and when
It's
it missed her,
actually
they got
scary.
out.
The facts people in the comments are saying nobody's attacking Muslims.
What, in these riots? Is that what happened in these riots?
No, just separately on the streets, just during daylight.
Oh, fair enough. I thought you were saying it happened in the riots. I say, what?
Devon, you know when you said about you don't think that thingy, what's his name? Corey, whatever his name is. You don't think he's racist? I'm gonna disagree. If you can bravely say that shit on a live stream, what are you saying behind closed doors? Like, there was no hesitation to that. Like, none.
I would just like to apologise for jumping in right away. I came in at the wrong time and I heard I heard that you just call for country. I do apologise for not taking your feelings into consideration, okay, buddy? I understand why you're angry and upset and stuff. I could turn around and say what I'm scared of gangs as well because in my past life, because it was gang life I was in up in Glasgow. That's what Glasgow is known for, gang life and culture and stuff. I could be scared of gangs.
That takes a lot to apologise though.
I apologise because I understand all humans are different. We all have our own thoughts and feelings and stuff like that, and we're all one. But we should be all one, but we're not. We're all divided. It's not right, but people need to feel that they're being racist by being looked at or whatever. No, it shouldn't be like that. It should be like how you doing in the morning, walking by each other with a paper or whatever and saying hello. And
you see that statement? You see that statement that I made, bro? You see that statement that I made? Do you think that I want to make that statement? Do you think that I get pleasure from saying I find that this country?
You shouldn't need to make that statement.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You shouldn't need to make that statement.
Nobody's choosing yet to. Here's the thing, right? A lot of people are on here like, oh, here we go again and all this. Do you think that I want to wake up out my bed? Yeah.
Hello?
And I want to, yeah, give me 1 second. Do you think that any of these black content creators, Tori and Paigey, myself, anyone who wants to come on the app to come to fight racism every single day, stop saying racist things. If you're bored, yeah, do me a favor. Stop being ignorant, stop saying dumb racist things, and everyone can have fun and have much joke. And here's the thing, yeah, Torian was brethren with Corey. Do you know how you put us in awkward positions where we just come on the app to have fun, and then you're doing dumb shit that we have to defend?
Oh, so awkward, man. Like,
you get me? You get it?
They need to
Like
educate
the fact
themselves.
that you know your friend is a black woman and you say that to someone tells me you don't give a fuck. You are foul. Like, it's not right.
oh man.
I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm going to leave anyway, but
No,
I
bro,
just
I
came in to
appreciate you.
apologise because
Listen,
I listened,
I appreciate
understood,
you saying that.
and I learned. I've
Yeah,
learned
no, I
from
appreciate
it, so I do apologise for jumping in.
I'll give you a follow,
just take
bro.
it easy, people. Just remember, okay, most of the people that are being racist are uneducated and they're stupid in the head. They've not caught up to the reality of fucking life. At the end of the day, like, we're all one blood. No, we're all one colour. Bob Marley, I love Bob Marley. See, one love, that's all we need to be. And stop this racist shit. Just take it easy, people.
Easy, yeah. Take it easy. Big up Bob Marley.
You know, with these rights, I was just gonna say some shit, but I'm a bit confused as to why we have white EDL members, whatever, coming against Muslims saying save our kids. All that energy writing could be used to go protest down, Houses of Parliament, 10 Downing Street, as to why pedalos are being housed near nurseries. In fact, some of them ain't even going to prison anymore. Some of them are just getting fines. But I guess for them, it's easier to attack someone else than to attack.
If they felt that strongly, they're not.
Yesterday, by the way, guys, 2 Filipino nurses by 5 by racist people yesterday. I see it today.
Really?
So they're going around. They're also attacking nurses now. Like,
If they felt that strongly about the boat share, why aren't they on the shoreline? Why aren't they down at bloody
That's
Devon?
it.
Saying, try. It's because that you only have to scratch the underbelly of this country, and any opportunity for a racist to show their racist ways will come forward.
I promise you, these riots, these racial attacks, you will not see them in South London. I promise you, they will not dare go down there. They are fucking terrified. Terrified.
Hey,
Torian.
T, have you spoke to him? That's probably on the phone.
Torian, you there, love?
oh, sorry, guys. I was talking. I was in Pal's live and I was listening to what they were saying, and people were saying like, "Oh, all lives matter," just whatever. So I didn't even want to rise, but I just rose in it because, bro, fuck that. You lot are about to switch, just like. But as I was talking, I just said like, we don't have to accept the apology because he's now turned around and apologized. I said, yeah, AR is a prick. We know that. But at the same time, if he's offended as a black man, who are we to tell him not, like, we can't tell him otherwise. Then they started saying that how he spat on the screen and called him a homophobic slur or something like that. But obviously, as I was talking, Corey was just on mute.
Yep.
He didn't say anything. So I don't know if he was listening. I don't know if he was just taking a piss. I generally don't know. And then I got flagged. So I clocked that they were all reporting me. So I just left the live.
Yeah, you can't be. They did that to you last time, man.
Yeah, so I just left. But I just feel like there's no accountability on his side. Yeah, he's very much wrong and strong right now. And yeah.
I told everyone, what was going to happen, right? This is why I said what I said in Miss Red's live and People's live. I said, if we allow the EQ situation to run, it's just going to keep happening. Everyone let it run. I sat back, I was like, okay, we'll let it run, see what happens. And then 2 seconds later, you're doing it again. And at the same time, my girl was there singing Brown Girl in the Ring. Like, not only are you doing it,
Who was singing Brown Girl in the Ring?
Huh?
Who was singing that?
EQ. The past 2 days has been bussing Brown Girl in the Ring on playing that. And you expect us not to get vexed because you're getting if you get away with it.
You need a beating. I tolerate violence for Evil Queen. Yeah, I do. I think she should get her head smashed in the blood clot wall. Yep, I do. Respectfully, I don't care what anybody says. That woman is a witch. The thing she says about DV, children, there's no place in society for a woman like her. Sorry, she needs to go. I'll be so real. That is one person that is an actual witch that I will actually bust open her head. I'll be so real and I'll have to use a weapon because I know you was a man before, innit? So I know that you would probably be stronger than me. But
can I pose a question, please, to the panel?
Fuck that.
Do you think multiculturalism works then?
In what way?
Well, for me,
Yes.
I think on a superficial level, it really does work. I.e., if everybody's civilized and everyone gets along with each other and we're in our workplaces and we can have sort of relationships with each other, but they're not meaningful relationships with people outside of different communities. We can have individual relationships, independent relationships with people of sort of different backgrounds. But we're not really engaging, communities are not really engaging with each other. Sorry, can I just finish my point?
Go on, finish your point. Yeah, please.
And then I think when push comes to shove, just like all people, we revert back to our own communities. We revert back to what is familiar and what feels so safe and secure. But then I also think that if you really go to extremes, we all let go aside all of that, and actually we just say, no, we're all human beings, and you're not going to do that to my fellow human beings. So I think there are different layers of whether it works or not.
I don't like that, Rez. I don't like segregation. I don't like tribalism. You can in a second. I don't like segregation and I don't like tribalism. And I know there's a lot of, even black people say we should stick to our own and everyone should stick to their own. I'm fully against that. I believe in people all mixing together. I hate that idea.
Yeah, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just trying to work out whether or not this has highlighted something or not. I grew up, again, I told you, I grew up in the 90s, but I grew up in an area that was extremely multicultural. And I have benefited so much from that. And I can see the difference between my views and people who have only grown up, let's say, I don't know, in a white all area or a Turkish all area or a sort of Pakistani all area. I know that I can see that my views are very different from everybody else's. But I just wonder if this idea of multiculturalism is a very, very thin, superficial fabric that runs through us. And actually it only works when everybody is civilized. And then when we have riots like this, what do we divert back to? And I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just wondering if it's human nature. But then I also think that, again, when you then keep pushing that, then we do actually push those identities to one side and actually say, no, we're all human beings and that's all that matters. But again, like I said, I think it's different severities of that connection that we have with other people.
Yeah. No, I get it. I like that. I will carry this on in a second, but I don't want Johnny to be freaking out. So go on, Johnny. Is he there?
Yeah, I'm here, mate. I'm here.
Go on.
All right. So on that point, that was very interesting what she just said, which I can relate to massively, because my family are from the West Indies, half from West Indies, Guyana and Trinidad, and half British, white. Okay. If you look at me, you would think I was Asian. I'm pretty far from Asian. I don't believe in any. I was raised as a Christian. I don't actually have a religion now, right? So you've got to think, I don't actually fall into any categories here, okay? Growing up, I wasn't part of the Asian community. I wasn't part of the white community. I wasn't part of the black community. Now, for me, I just had to find my place. I wouldn't say I've ever felt like I was in any tribe, as you put it, but I've just felt comfortable with all colours around me because my heritage is black, Asian and white, okay? So I'm on all sides. So I'm probably the most liberal person you're going to speak to today. But I feel comfortable around people that are comfortable around me. Now, you would notice that sometimes you'll be in a room and there'll be that person that doesn't feel comfortable around you, and you can sense it, you can feel it. I don't know if anybody else ever gets that, but personally, I can feel it if someone isn't comfortable being around somebody of colour. So the way that I would see it is I'm comfortable with people that are comfortable around me, and I feel comfortable around anyone who's willing to be comfortable around me. And that's how we've got to live. And that makes the racist people a minority. You see, racist people are a minority. Racism once upon a time would have worked. Segregating colours and race would have worked. Now, no chance. Absolutely not a chance in hell. Because if you tell me one person is 100% white English, that's not true. There's no such thing. If you take out all of the immigrants, all of the different bloods, there'd be nobody. There'd be about 2 people left. That's it. Ain't going to work these days. So they might as well move on and get on with it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I think that, like, racism does exist still, like, systematically, though, as well. So, like, no matter what happens, there still is racism, even if the people, like, I get it, the white man, if you go outside, they're nice people, they never say anything to you, they say hi to you, you say hi, they lift their head, they smile at you, do you know what I mean? They're cool people, they don't say nothing, there's just a small minority that are brainwashed, I hear it. But we can't dismiss the systematic racism that is, and the government is pushing that, the government is doing that, the government wants division. And the more you listen to the news and the more you watch the news, if you're watching the news, watch it critically. That's what we do, because we know what they're like. So we watch it critically. Yeah, we criticize everything they tell us. Okay, because we know that the people who own the media, the people who own Hollywood, the people who own all the markets, stock markets, the people who have the money don't want us to unite and don't want us to have.
But watch this one though, AD. How about? Oh yeah, fuck it. All right, anyway. You was right in what you're saying. I'm not gonna lie.
Racism is going to exist for as long as human beings exist. It's just a form of discrimination, and discrimination is what people do. You know, if we're not racist to people, we're going to be discriminating with how much money somebody has, or somebody's looks, or whether somebody's fat or skinny. It's just another form of discrimination.
That's something that we, our conscience and our hearts needs to change in ourselves, right? We have to be good. This is what religion and this is what God, and I understand most people don't believe in this stuff, but even if you don't, you know right from wrong, right? And so you try to do the good, you try to not be jealous of someone's money, you try to not put someone down for their looks, you try to help someone in need, even if they're falling down, if they're in a fight, you go and stop the fight. Most of the times,
watch this, AD, because I've missed my I forgot my point, but I got it right now. It was about the news. How about everything they tell us is a lie in the first place? That's what I wanted to say. So you see, when you say we watch it critically, I don't even watch it at all. You know, the ones there. I might watch it to see what they're up to. You know, to see what they're up to.
The reason why that's what I was gonna say. The reason why I say you watch it critically is because they literally tell you what they actually are planning to do and what they are doing, what the next step is. You're literally a step ahead of them if you actually are watching it. Understand? You watch the news critically and you know the way how they run and what they do. You are one step ahead of them. There is no way that you can actually believe that. And if they're distracting us on the news with something, there's something else happening in the background. Okay, there's always something bigger happening. Did you not hear the stock markets lost like $99 trillion dollars? They just like wiped it off the stock market like yesterday or 2 days ago, and no one spoke about it. Lots of people lost money, and there's something that's gonna happen now. Something in the next 4 months, 5 months after this dies down a little bit, they'll kick on to the next thing that they're putting in place. And this is how they work. So it's either the people, the human race, the human rights and the human, your humanism or whatever it is that we have going on here that they were trying to push, and the one world government that they're trying to push to say that they're the ones that rule us as humans as a whole. We need to come together and have our own minds and think for ourselves and not listen to them at all, and actually realize that every single one of us is like our brother and sister, regardless of their skin color, regardless of their height, and regardless of disability.
Yeah, that does sound nice, Danny, and we can hope for that. But where my passion lies now is in educating young people and children in this, because basically, and I do have a lot of hope for them actually. If I speak to a 20-year-old today, they got their head screwed on way more than what I did at 20 years old. Like, I think they're the ones that are like bringing to the forefront like really important political issues. But I just want to touch on that thing that Rez spoke about, because I do think it's interesting, about multiculturalism and like whether it works, or I think it's obviously too late, like as in there can't be segregation, because like I think Tampin said that, or someone did about, when I got my heritage, I mean, the mix was unbelievable. On my father's side, it's Caribbean, so therefore, obviously, there's African that showed up.
Again, I want to say something to you, yeah? You need to stop giving your DNA to these people that you don't know. You need to stop giving your information to these people, okay? For you to even want to know where you're from or your lineage is just waste of time. You're living... Listen, you know your mom, you know your dad, okay? But
I don't know. That's just made some assumptions about me. I didn't, and that's why I wanted to find out.
And so you gave her DNA?
It's not DNA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They just trace your name.
I mean, there's when you have the options for when you do this, as to how much information you want to give and whether it's available in the system, and like you're protected in certain ways. Listen, each to their own. I'm really happy that everyone knows who their parents are, if that's your experience, but that's not been mine.
Yeah,
and
I didn't
no, it's okay. It was only because basically a relative came forward. And I obviously, if you look at my profile picture, I am very pale there, but like in the summer I am dark, but in the winter I look like Snow White. But basically a black relative contacted me and I was like,
you're like,
but my family's white. Yeah. And then more will be revealed, and it's been like a whole I know.
Open your eyes a lot,
Pardon?
So you're sounding like you're stolen or something.
We'll save that chat for a different day.
Do you know what? I will say you sound very sensible, and you sound no worse off for not knowing who your parents are. If that's just my first thinking.
Education really does start from home. Regardless of what they teach you in school, they're teaching you just so that they can prep you for the system that they are running. We are running their system. Okay, we are the workers for their system. So they want us to be, competent in the way that they want to run their system. And if you don't, right, if you want to learn something else, you are put down, right? We're the ones that, listen, they'll put you down, they'll put you in isolation if you're loud, if you're energetic. They don't use the energy. It's not like you're not controllable or something like that. It's just that you know.
I should just went on mute by phone call or something.
I wonder what that was. I thought it was my phone. I was like, what the All right. Let me ask you all a question quick. Let me just quickly offer you something that was told to me yesterday, yeah? It was a black guy in MGK's chat, right? And he said, I urge all black people, don't even watch it, don't get involved, this is not our fight.
Yes.
Where I had to jump in. No. I had to jump in there. I said, did you not see the black guy in Manchester walking through? He got beat up and they was like, you're the problem. They were stomping him. I said, what if that was your kid?
Stay home and stay away from there, bruv. This is the thing.
No.
Even though
I get that.
Past, but my thing is stay on, because you know what? We don't want to be mobilizing. This is what they want. Listen.
No, I get that.
I want carnival, innit? It's in a couple weeks. Yeah. Wait until afterwards, innit? Let carnival pass.
Yeah.
And if we need to,
but his way of saying it was, it's nothing to do with us. It's to do with the Asian breads. I said, what are you chatting about? That's not true. I said, bruv, you're going to be next in line. If it's not the Asian breads, we are next, bruv. We can't
but we're not targeted like that, because what it is, you got to remember, they're trying to push the kind of the religious war,
Islam thing. Yeah, of course.
The racial war. Do you know what I'm going to say to you? This is literally not our battle, bruv. I swear to you, we can. It's actually time for us to sit back and watch. You see, like when we have our madnesses and that, and other races sit back and watch. It's our turn to do the same. Sit back and watch. We don't need to be there. We don't need to be near there, because when we're doing our protests and madness, you don't see none of them near there or you know what I'm saying? Just stay your ass home. Don't get involved, because you know what? I don't want us black people to mobilize, because it will be a scary sight. If all the man them said, yo, we have to put our fucking shit to the side and we need to mobilize, it's peak. So it's like, we don't want that. Because then you know where we know what we're talking about.
Can I just respond to Tampin? Sorry, Tampin, can I just respond to this? I find that a little bit upsetting, but I also completely understand where you're coming from. Like, I kind of want this to be like not. I kind of want this to be something where actually everybody is saying, no, not in our name, no, you're not going to do this. But the points that you've made, where sometimes there have been incidences in the past where it's been attacked against the black community, other races haven't got involved, and everyone kind of did feel like that. So I completely understand where you're coming from, but I find that sad.
And do you know what it is? You know, but I hear that, but you see how everyone say we should come together? So even some put in the comments now. No, because when we were saying come together, no one was trying to do that.
Yeah, I get that.
We've been saying this ever since we landed here.
Yeah.
But you got to remember.
But can I just say, in the days, don't forget, I grew up in the sort of 80s and 90s, but my dad got here in the sort of late 60s, early 70s. And he and his friends would every night go around sort of in a car and actually and they were on the lookout for any racist people that would go and attack any Asians, any black people. They would get out of the car, help the people, jump them, and drop the victim off to wherever they needed to be, and then carry on going out like that. So back in the day, there was more unity.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying to you, but it's like, I feel like for us, this time we have to just sit back, man. And then obviously if we defend, if anything happens, if we get the bird call, then you get me. But otherwise, watch.
I don't know, man.
Watch, because we don't need to destroy ourselves. We don't need to destroy ourselves anymore.
There's a lot of black and Somalian Muslims in this country, and they ain't going to stop to ask if someone's a Muslim, brother. They don't care. They just see a brown face or a black face. They don't care, bro.
Yeah, but they don't really care about them, man, you know. They don't really care about them, man, too tough, you know. They do have a little problem, but it's more the Asians, and let me tell you why. Because you see, when you step foot out of London and you go into these little small towns, it's them, man, there.
But tell me this then: would you feel comfortable walking through Walthamstow when there's a march? Would you walk through the march and think, I'm going to come out the other side of that? I'll be all right.
Yeah, no? I will come out the other side of that. I'm going. Trust me, I'll go to war. I don't know,
but that's what I'm saying. You have to go to war. This is what I'm saying. You feel like, so it is your problem. So if you can't walk down the street while they're doing these things, that's your problem too.
Yeah,
bro.
I know, I hear that, but I won't even go near there. This is my thing.
But that's the problem. Why are you scared to go out your house then? Because of these people.
It's not scared. It's not scared. It's actually smart.
But you don't feel comfortable. Listen, no black person will feel comfortable going out the yard if there was that outside. No black person. That makes it our problem, bruv. Come on, I wouldn't send my kid. I can't take my kid to the shop.
Hey, Johnny, watch how big London is, yeah? Watch how big London is. Why do we need to go to that section? I'm not from there, innit? I'm not from around there. I don't need to take myself around there.
I understand what the guy's saying. You know, you understand what the guy's saying. The guy say he's talking about people who live there a black person live there and cannot enter out of his property
Yes,
because
stay away. Because you know what? When we was writing and doing the mad thing, their asses that were around there was in their yards.
Yeah, but why do I have to feel scared to take my kid out to the shop if this shit's going on in the high street? Like, I can't take my kid to the shop now.
Bruv, I hear that. And you know what it is? It's not right. And there's no one saying you can't or you should be scared. Do it. But what I'm trying to say to you is, don't get involved. So if something comes your way, take yourself away from it.
Do you understand?
It's quite simple.
Do you understand what these people are about? Do you understand?
Yes, more than you, Chris Sneed. But what I'm trying to say to you is
you do.
to be smart.
I don't think you.
All right, then. Do you know what, Chris? You be the guy that gets involved in it and then fuck up the whole thing for black people. You do that. You don't understand. Because you don't understand. This is a government thing. This is a system thing. This is a government thing. It's bigger than you lot think. It's bigger than just white people. This is a system thing, bro. Yeah,
it's not about system. It's white people. It's not about system. It's about white people. It's white people doing this.
Bruv, this guy, bro. If you really know, if you actually boil it all the way down, it's a system thing, bro. You need to understand what's going on.
What system?
Boil it down. Stop just looking at what you're seeing right now with the rights. Why is these things happening? Get into why it's happening.
Tampin, let him talk.
Why are you talking about it? What going on doing this thing? Is it other ethnic group or?
Hey guys, I'll be back on the flip side. 1 second, I've got to lock the live, but I'll be back on the other side. Soon come.